Josh and Frankie. What a couple of dumb shits. Hello, Primates! You found Primus Tracks, congratulations! Oh my goodness, and you found us for a great episode. He is back. We haven't talked to him in quite some time. I got to see him perform with the band Punkadelick recently, and I had a wonderful time. So we had to get him back on to talk about all the things coming up that he's doing. He has many names. Mike Dillon is our guest today. Mike D, Jazz Dad. I don't know how you got this many names, Mike, but maybe we'll start with Jazz Dad. Welcome back to Primus Tracks.
Jazz Dad is happy to be here. That's the special's nickname for me.
Of course, we're good pals.
The Colonel, he calls me Greasy D.
Greasy D.
So that's what the Colonel Claypool calls me.
The special dudes being our pals here on the podcast as well. Jazz Dad, pretty great title. How'd you earn that one?
We did a tour last summer when we were all in Colorado, going to the South Park 25 anniversary thing. We booked a couple of shows after that weekend, after those two Red Rock shows. And I just done the Bastard Jazz tour.
Yeah.
With the Colonel and Scarrett and Stanton. So hung out and watched the South Park thing. And once we got in the van, it was pretty funny, I guess, because I did all the driving and I think it was on that tour they started calling me Jazz Dad. I got all these songs of mine. I'm sort of like a jazz dad in the band. I'm not like a dictator. I'm more like, well, let's try it this way, son.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of humor with those guys. And, a lot of younger bands, when I play with them, they'll call me Uncle Mike. So I don't know exactly how it happened, but it's just probably has something to do with the creativity of what's special.
Yeah.
And when we did our most recent East Coast run, I showed up and we're about to rehearse for it. This was back in January, about the 25th of January. And I walk in, they're like, all right, we can rehearse, but we got to do this video before CD hits the road with our van. And I'm like, oh, okay. And they had the whole concept for Jazz Dad.
Yeah.
So like, I was going to walk in, they're on the couch, vaping out, smoking weed or whatever. And Luke was like, come on, you guys, we got to rehearse. Jazz Dad's going to be here soon. And it was hilarious. I'm into it.
For sure, yeah. So for reference, of course, you can find those things at Les Special Music and on your Instagram too, Mike. I think you can find it at Punkadelick, yeah.
Yeah, with a K at the end.
Right. So
it says Mike Dillon, yeah.
Yeah, you can find those at Les Special Music and at Punkadelick with a CK at the end there. That's Mike's Instagram. I got to watch those shorts, and those were highly entertaining. I'm glad that all worked out.
Yeah, just the name creative.
Yeah, for sure. They're great dudes. I actually just saw them in Portland a couple weeks ago. I ran up there for the show, had a great time. Speaking of doing all the driving, you're driving right now.
Yeah, we just ended the Punkadelick tour opening for Marco Benevento. We ended it in Madison, Wisconsin. Now I'm driving to Kansas City to be there for 2 days and then head on home to New Orleans and start a whole run of shows down there.
You never stop, man. And let me ask you this about the driving first. Do you do most of the driving usually, and is it one of those things where it helps you focus, or the rhythm of the road is a good thing for you?
Yeah, I think it's also just being a jazz dad, being too much of a control freak or whatever. It's like, I'm the man behind the wheel, son. But I let Hoff drive. He takes it over from me. And I'm always grateful when someone else drives because I can get a nap in. But right now, I'm the guy that's got to do all the driving. Everyone else gets to fly home from the gigs. But it's my van, all the gear's in it. So once again, I don't mind being the jazz dad and getting all the gear home. Getting all the drums back.
Excellent, man. Well, I'm glad we could keep you company for a bit here, at any rate, on your journey.
Exactly. These whole Zoom things are great. I just put the phone up on the magnet on the windshield, and when I said 8 o'clock today, I was like, oh, it'll be great. And I was like, oh, it's going to be dark in the van. So I'll be like the creepy dude, like the low light, talking real, like, hey. I like playing music. Yeah.
Excellent. Those are my favorite guys to talk to outside the station. So, well, you were on this really nice long run, man, with Punkadelick. I got to say, when I saw you guys back in December, you played your new record, Inflorescence, in its entirety to start the show, and then you played a whole bunch of tunes after that from all iterations of bands you've been in through the years, and it was a blast. But Inflorescence, I'm a big fan of that record, and it was really great to see it before it was released, or witness it before it was released. So how's it going with Haas and Nikki Glaspie, who are both just mind-blowing musicians to a layman like myself?
Yeah, I mean, Brian Haas is ridiculous on the keyboards, and then Nikki is incredible too. No one plays the way she plays. They're both powerhouses.
Yeah.
They're both younger than me, so they kick my ass every night and keep me feeling young. You know, Nikki's about, what is she, like, she's a little less, about 18 years younger than me. So, you know, it's always great just playing with musicians and music is just like it's a universal language. It really is also, it's the thing that keeps you feeling like you're in high school in your garage learning how to play Rush songs or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just exuberance of playing music. So we've been having a blast with this record, touring it. We're still like on this last tour, we had 50 minutes a night open for Marco Benevento, another great keyboardist.
Oh, yeah.
We did our whole record, and then we do like one song a night of whatever I felt like from all my previous records. And it's really great being in a band where everyone's, over the past 3 years, they've learned off most of my repertoire, and I don't have to do a set list. We can just go wherever we're feeling at the moment. And with the record, like when you heard it, that's exactly what we've been doing. We're like, I don't know how it happened. We were just like, man, let's just play the new record down every night. We really love this record. It was a bunch of songs that came together about a year ago now. Mm-hmm. It was a year ago. A year ago, 2022, we recorded it. And then it came out. We had the vinyl by, November 17th of 2022 and started selling it shortly thereafter, including at the show we played for you in Talent.
Yeah. And
now that it's hit the official airwaves, we're super stoked because it's, the first pressing is nearly sold out. And our label, for the first time since I've been with them, for one of my bands, they were like, hey, we're going to press up another 500. And that set of vinyls is bubblegum pink. So we're going to do some sort of weird marble purple that looks really cool, that mixes with the album cover real nicely. So we got a nice tour lined up this summer after the Frog Brigade tour. We got it with they haven't announced it yet, so I can't say who it is, but hopefully they're a big band, one of my favorite bands. I love them to death. I'm so stoked we're going out with them. That'll be in August. So, and the drummer for that band recently came out and saw us in Baltimore. Was like, oh my God, I love the new record. And you guys doing this at the beginning of every set is going to be perfect for the tour. So, and the thing about playing like the same songs, because I'm so ADD and all over the place. I just always like to, not do set lists, just call them out as I'm feeling and have a band follow me. Mm-hmm. But having like this order in my life of like playing this record that I'm really proud of, it's made the whole band like dig deeper and do something new. Cause you're like, all right, we're playing the same song, but every night I'm hearing the songs evolve and do these different things, yet we're staying true to the record. And it's cool, and the last band I saw play a record in its entirety was on the Farewell Kings tour, when I saw Primus. Last night I talked about that. It's just like, maybe that was like 36 minutes of music. This is 42 minutes of music.
Yeah.
And I know when I was with Primus and we did the Chocolate Factory, for me, it was also this other thing of like, all right, we're playing the like we did the Chocolate Factory every night, just like it was like the same set list. And for me, I started wandering. It was really tough. Like, play your parts, don't fuck up, Mike. Playing oompa, oompa, not super hard part, but I would make stupid fucking mistakes if I exactly concentrating.
Yeah.
So it's been fun. I don't know how I ended up talking about Oompa Loompa and Frog. Oh yeah, because I'm on Primus Tracks.
There you go. At the Talent Club show, you did observe that the record is about 40 minutes, and you said, hey, we got through it in about 65 minutes, which is pretty good. So it, you were expanding and exploring in specific spots throughout the record as you performed it, and I'm sure every night it's a little bit different depending on your moods and what everybody's feeling.
Yeah, I mean, the songs, Brian especially likes to stretch his improvs and his solos. And that's always a variable, even with the Frog Brigade, the Chocolate Factory tour. Last time I did something like this, we were playing the same set every night. The solos were always the things that were different lengths, so the set length varied. But on this last tour, we only had 50 minutes, so I was like, "Hey Brian, hey Mike," talking to myself, we got to cut it short, solos shorter. So it was awesome to be like, all right, we got to like be concise, still make a statement and feel like we're doing something. So, yeah.
So that there's always something new to learn. It sounds like you've been doing this for decades, but it's another new wrinkle for you. And boy, oh boy, from what I've heard, and thanks, of course, for posting so many clips on your Instagram at Punkadelick. Holy cow. I mean, every clip is fantastic. And I continue, I mean, you said it too. I just continue to be blown away by Brian and Nikki's musicianship too. It's wild.
Yeah, the funny thing about us just being a trio on tour is usually we don't even have a sound person. Sometimes my wife's out doing merchandise for us, and she'll take a video. I'll be like, get a good video so I can post it on Instagram. But usually I'm the one, when my solo's over and they're soloing, I'll be like, oh, this is really good. So I'll pick up the phone and just right there on stage, film them for 45 seconds or whatever. Like I did last night. Yeah. The last song of the set with Marco.
It's a great eyewitness view for those of us that usually don't get that vantage point, and I love that. I think.
That's cool to know.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah, I think more musicians should do that. It's like you're on stage with, your favorite musicians. How cool is that? We should say too.
You're right. I ought to just get a tripod like the boys in La Special do. They always have it out in front. But I can start doing that, just filming it, so I wouldn't actually be having to grab my phone, unlock the screen, I could just be totally in the now. But that's cool that you like that angle.
Oh yeah, for sure. And those La Special guys are really dialed in with that, especially with Chris. Shout out to him, their video guy. He's incredible. Speaking of those Special guys,
Video.
Yeah, CB Video Marketing, free plug for him. Speaking of the Special guys, you guys did some stuff with. I keep saying fucking A because you got the anarchy symbol in instead of the U there. So, but you got the fucking A thing going on, and I'll tie it in with what's coming up at Jazzfest because I see that fucking A is looks like headlining your Megalomaniacs ball there. So. What do you have coming up? You're going to Kansas City for a couple days, you said, and then down to New Orleans because it looks like that Megalomaniacs ball is coming up in a hurry.
Yeah, we got Megalomaniacs, and that's going to be awesome because that's their little inside joke. Yeah, fuck it, second A. But so we're going to do that at Jazzfest with the boys, and it'll be their Special's first time at New Orleans Jazz Fest in that time period.
Excellent.
And we got Punkadelick, Take a Fred Jazz Odyssey, which is Haas's band.
Right.
That he started many years ago, and they started playing again with Reed Mathis and Jason Smart. And then we're going to have our local homeboys, the Iceman Special, close out the set after the fucking A set. So, it'll be 4 nights of music. Megalomaniacs, I used to do indoor at this place called the Howlin' Wolf. Did it there for many, many years. Had the Dean Ween Group headline it. Had Gras Trois headline it for many years.
Nice.
And then had HR from Bad Brains come in and headline it 1 year. So this year we moved it to a different venue. moved it to a Thursday night, and we're doing it outdoors under the stars. So I guess my big worry now is hopefully it won't rain. But,
yeah, that's always, yeah, for sure. So the info on that is Thursday, May 4th, doors at 6 p.m., shows at 7. This is at the Broadside in New Orleans, and that's the Megalomaniacs Ball. And, of course, once again, for more information, at Punkadelick on Instagram. It looks like a killer lineup, so it's really cool. You're getting those special guys involved because we love them here. And so you're doing double duty with Fakane and Punkadelick. Haas is doing double duty with Jacob Fred and Punkadelick. But you'll get a break in there at some point with Iceman, but I have a feeling you'll be doing a lot of sit-ins.
I'll do like half their set probably.
Nice.
And they're a great band. They're really cool. If you ever get a chance to check them out, I really love them. But, and before Jazzfest, we got a couple more Punkadelick weekends. This weekend coming up, I'm going to leave New Orleans Saturday morning and fly to Tampa. Brian and I will fly to Tampa, and Rory will fly in, play drums for Punkadelick at this spring beer fest at this place we always play down there, our friends at the Dunedin Brewery. So we'll be there on what is that? Yeah, the 25th. But yeah, the music never stops rolling. And then before you know it, Jazzfest is going to be over. And I'll be heading out to California to get ready for the 2-month Frog Brigade tour.
Yeah. Well, let's pick up there because I see Frankie, I see his forehead, and I saw his eyebrows raise very high on his head as soon as you mentioned the Frog Brigade. So you have a couple of weeks there. So I assume there's going to be some rehearsals, but I'm gonna throw it to Frankie because I know he has questions.
Hi, Frankie.
Hey, Mike. How are you?
Good. So nice to hear your voice again.
Yes, it's really cool to talk to you. Thanks for taking the time to be with us, even though you're driving. Mike, yes. Can you share with us a little bit about what it was like to be invited back to play with the Frog Brigade after so long? What is the main feeling that prevails? Are you excited? Are you nervous? What went through your mind when Les told you that he wanted the Frog Brigade back?
I joined the Frog Brigade, I would say, right when the recording of Purple Onion happened, because I played on that record. So that was my first time to record with Les. And recently I started listening to that record again, mainly because in fucking A, we do like Up on the Roof and had to relearn my parts. So, and then I did all his other solo projects up to 2010 when he put Primus back together again. So for me, I guess it hasn't felt like it's been 20 years because we did a lot of the same material in the Fancy Band and the Fungi and Faux Band. But needless to say, when I heard that the Frog Brigade was going back out and I got the tour, it's just like I always feel whenever, like when Les called me about Bastard Jazz. I love playing music with Les, and I always just say yes right away because I know the music is going to be exciting and challenging. And then when I heard who all was going to be in the band, I was like, sort of it's all I said. When I get excited anymore, we just go fucking A, it just sort of felt amazing, So, but also now it's sunk in that we got a lot of hard work to do. But to me, it's a continuation of everything, especially with musicians, you play with them and then you don't play with them for a while. But, we've been doing the Bastard Jazz thing again. And we did that over New Year's Eve, me, Les, and Vinny Colaiuta and Scarrick. So I guess lately these days, I just feel like it's been great to be playing with Les again a lot because no one makes me play the way or challenges me as the way he does. And ultimately, that's all I'm looking for is someone to kick me in the ass musically. The older you get, you can get pretty cynical and jaded on the music business. So whenever you get to play with Les, there's always tons of folks there. I mean, right away when the tour got announced, I guess I found out about it sometime last year. I was like, wow, he's doing the Frog Brigade. That's amazing. Because I'd been texting him, telling him, man, this Purple Onion record, I listened to it. It's fucking amazing. And right before that, Tom Waits had put it on his 5 all-time favorite records. And
right.
And that was pretty cool because Tom Waits is such a hero of mine. And so I was just like, I'm sort of talking in circles, but very excited that we're going to do, to be asked to be a part of it again. I was hoping he would call me because I never take it for granted who Les is going to call. And when he called, I was just super grateful. I'm like, stoked.
Oh,
Did I answer the question?
I think so.
Did I answer
Yeah.
the question?
Frankie's taking it all in right now. We heard, of course, that Animals, the Pink Floyd Animals record, will be performed in its entirety. I would assume most, if not every, date, maybe barring festivals. But any clues yet as to what else you're going to be performing? Did you get a list of tunes to review yet?
I got a list, and I'm sworn to secrecy. But put it this way. There's a lot of tunes on there. And that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. We'll be hitting the old marimba, or as the Colonel calls it, the old bag of bones. And pretty much from here until rehearsals, whenever I have a day off from my tours, I'm going to be working on stuff. It's like, all right, time to refresh everything so that I don't suck when I show up for rehearsals. And the Pink Floyd stuff, I never did. So to be quite frank with you, I know that music and I love it. It's some of my favorite music, especially now because there's a band in New Orleans that does they call it Dark Side of the Swamp, and they hired me. They're my friends, so I was like, yeah, I'll play some Pink Floyd with you guys. So I have been relearning a lot of learning. I shouldn't say relearning. I learned a lot of the Pink Floyd stuff on vibraphone, and it was really cool just for my own music, because other than listening to it when I was really stoned when I was in high school, because I grew up in the 70s and heard it on the radio all the time, I never sat down to learn it. And recently, 2 years ago, when I started sitting down to learn it, no matter what the music is, you can hear it and listen to it and enjoy it. But then for me, because I don't have perfect pitch, I can't just pick the chord changes out of air. Once I start learning it and seeing the theory behind it, the way everything worked, then my engineering Virgo brain starts going, ooh, that's really cool. Like in time, the way the F sharp goes to the A chord and to the E. That's very simple, but it fucking just sounds epic, and and I'm dorking out right now, but so that's where I'm at, and I've been already messing around with the stuff from Animals, and I'm really fired up to play the cowbell part on Animals, on Pigs.
Yes.
You know the part I'm talking about? I got my cowbell ready, man.
You got it all shined and polished up.
I signed up that cowbell.
I did want to ask you about that, but you spoke about it just now about transferring some of those parts to the instruments that you play, and so I think for those of us that enjoyed Animals the first time around 20 years ago, will get some different interpretations and new treats with it, with you playing some parts and Sean Lennon on guitar as opposed to somebody else. So it's going to be a different lineup, and I'm pretty excited to try to catch it somewhere. I'm jazzed for it too. We did Shine on Crazy Diamonds. That's not part of Animals, right?
But that is on the Frogs Volume 1 and 2. And we also did Thela and Genji. So right from the get-go, when I joined, when I started playing with the Frog Brigade, I had to do the second guitar parts on the marimba.
Right.
And a lot of times I was learning stuff from Holy Mackerel or, the previous records that had guitar. And I would have to translate that to either the vibraphone or the marimba. So you can't make it sound exactly like a guitar, but I really love playing with Larry Lalonde, because the way he plays guitar is very staccato, and jamming with him, I picked up little tricks over the years, just how to sort of do it on a vibraphone or a xylophone, the bag of bones. Because really, at the end, it might be sonically different a little bit, but you can still get an energy going with it. Starting to sound too metaphysical, but I don't know. It's going to be fun. That's the part of the challenge. I'm equally interested on what my parts are going to be on the animal stuff. Because I know what I play on up on the roof.
Yeah.
So.
And then have you ever jammed with Sean before, or Harry Waters, who's on keys? And I know you're familiar with the other guys, but Sean and Harry, that should be an interesting experience too, to give some back and forth with them.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I've texted with Harry a little bit recently, and he actually, somewhere along the way, heard Devil's Playground from the Inflorescence record and sent me a nice text saying he liked the song a lot. And I'm really looking forward to meeting him, Harry Waters. And then Sean, he showed up at the first Bastard Jazz we did at Jazzfest, because they were on tour with the Delirium back then. That was the Jazzfest 2019, right before the pandemic. So he sat in. I got to play with him. He sat in with Bastard Jazz.
Oh, that's right.
And we ripped it on that. And the day before that, I sat in with the Delirium on one of those songs playing Tabla and at the Civic Theater. So yeah, looking forward to seeing where that goes.
For sure.
He's a monster. Great guitar player and a great singer. I've always loved like Sean's solo records. When I met him, I was like, dude, I love your solo records. And
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
He's got a great voice. I really do appreciate his singing voice for sure. And he can make some sounds on that guitar that are different from anybody else. So, he's got a distinct style.
He did with Kibo Mato, all that stuff is killer,
Yeah. Oh, for sure. The stuff I've heard, I've liked it for sure. Man, I don't know how you keep all this stuff straight in your head. I know you can chalk it up to experience, but you're just an organized guy. You've got all this stuff going on.
My wife says, and a few of my friends said I have when it comes to numbers and dates, they call me Rain Man. Whoa, this guy's driving completely insane. Whoa, that's nuts.
We'll let you concentrate on that for a moment.
No, it's good. You're good. I'm just going to get over so that insane drivers on meth in Kansas City don't run me over.
There you go.
We're good now.
Oh, good.
Can you hear me?
Make this guy think. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Make me think.
Mike,
Hi, Frankie.
Even though you can't share much about which songs will be played, and you say there's going to be a ton of stuff there, do you have any songs on your wish list that you hope will get played? Is there anything you look forward to playing with Les again? It doesn't matter if it's not in the cards. I mean, just a song that you would love to play again with Les.
Yeah, I'm really excited about all of them. It's really funny. Like, I remember when I first started playing back in, it'll be 21 years ago, that first tour, spring of 2002, when he dressed us all. I remember we rehearsed for like 3 or 4 days. And then like the morning of the first gig, the Colonel goes, all right, we're going to go to the costume shop. And I thought he was joking. And then we went and we bought all these like medieval costumes and dressed up, had like devil horns and like a Cardinals outfit. And I dressed up like, I found something that looked like a knight.
Yeah.
And the Colonel's nickname for me was Sirloin of Beef. And but that whole tour we started off with Highball with the Devil. And there's just something about that song. I love playing riddles with the Colonel. But I can't wait with Sean and Harry to hear. I imagine we're gonna play, what's the song?
Tomorrow Never Knows.
No, not Tomorrow Never Knows. Off Purple Onion. I'm on the sun into the sun. What's
Cosmic Highway.
Cosmic
Highway. Yeah, I mean, that song's gonna be awesome. I'm really looking forward to it. Like with Sean and Scarrett and just seeing how the chemistry develops.
Plus, it's the kind of song that allows each band member to shine. Right? Everyone gets their spot.
It's been a long time. Like when I saw the song list, I got really excited. I was like, wow, I forgot about that song. I can't wait to play that again. And so I'm just trying to stay focused and not get too excited.
I know that can be difficult from time to time. So good on you.
It's almost like Christmas Day. It's like, all right, well, when's Christmas going to get here? Well, hell, at my age, time moves pretty quickly. So I know before you know it, we're all going to be in the tour bus and get down to brass tacks and have to make the music be badass, you know.
And right now we're only a couple of months away, but May 16th at the South Shore Room in State Line, Nevada. State Line, Nevada. That's when.
Holy
that's
shit!
when it starts.
We're literally 2 months away, like a little under 2 months.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's coming right up.
Wow.
And that pretty much takes up your whole summer too. May 16th all the way through to July 15th. And I know you said you've got something else coming up in August. So you're not going to have much downtime, it sounds like, after the Frog Brigade tour.
Yeah, that's why my wife made me take her little dog, her little 5-pound Papillon Beignet with me on tour. I just went into all the venues with my little dog because, you know, I'm not going to be able to have a little dog on the Frog Brigade tour.
Oh, okay. So Beignet at least is with you this time.
We can only have frogs on the Frog Brigade tour. We'll have a basket full of frogs in the back bunk.
That's the only exception, huh? That's good to know.
Yeah.
So you got a lot in the hopper, and you got a lot coming up. I'm just so excited to see it back out, of course, with the Frog Brigade. But I know that Frankie and I have been wondering this because you have quite a presence on social media, and you're always telling people where you're going to be and when you're going to be performing, which is really great. And even when you're not performing, there's always some kind of post. But Les kind of keeps it quiet over there. So when he's not making music or out on the road, we don't hear much from him. Frankie and I were wondering, maybe he's making some new music. So I know anything you're going to be sworn to secrecy, but any idea if the Frog Brigade might record something for a release?
That I honestly have no clue. The man is he is a mystic of secrecy. Yeah, you know, I mean, the funny thing is about social media for like me, for artists at my level, you know, we have to post all the time just to let folks know where we are, you know, and it's not just us doing it for fun. It's like clubs are literally like, hey, make posts about the show. Because it has become like, you know, back when I started touring, we put all the gigs on flyers and would go around town just, you know, putting them on telephone poles and whatnot. That was the Instagram of 1991.
Right.
Flyers on the telephone pole. And then I'm going to be able to walk into my house now.
Oh, right.
And then after that happened, I just got here. Then when that stopped and this stuff started up, it became the new promotion tool. Now, it remains to be seen, in my opinion, if turn the lights off, man. You know, like, I really don't know if telephone poles are better than Instagram posts about, you know, it's going to be a question. Like, what's more powerful? Do more people see you on the telephone pole, or do more people see you on the Instagram feed? And I remember one time we were on tour in Australia, and Les's manager looked at him and said, "You need to start tweeting more." And he just really, I think this is pretty funny. Probably wouldn't mind me saying this, but and we were driving to the gig, and he goes, "When Tom Waits start tweeting, I'll start tweeting." That's one of the funniest things I've heard in my life. And so, you know, Les is a little bit, you know, he keeps it quiet. You know, if I know Les, he's probably out fishing or working on one of his badass something. You know, he's a man with his hands, always like doing things, or he's writing a fucking genius record with someone. So I don't know. I text him and say hello, and he says Greasy D, and so.
Well, here's hoping maybe some of those jams out on tour lead to something, because I know that's when those creative juices really get flowing. So that's where I'll toss my hat in the ring and hope something comes from it.
Yeah.
For sure. And hey, you made it home safely.
This is the old church where Peregrine and I live. This is our Kansas City house.
Beautiful.
This 100-year-old church.
Is that where you did a lot of your videos during lockdown times that we don't like to talk about anymore?
We posted up here during the quarantine, and it's a giant, just open room church. It was a church for many years until the congregation got too old to walk up the steps, so then they moved the church to somewhere else.
Wow. Well,
it had sat empty for 20 years, and then her ex rebuilt the thing, and then they broke up, and then one day I was rolling through town and we hooked up, and next thing I know, I'm in pandemic lockdown.
Oh, jeez. Well, it's a beautiful space inside. It was really cool to see those videos, live videos that you were doing throughout that time period. Definitely helped me because I wasn't going anywhere. So I appreciated it.
I know, it's funny. I get so much of it. Like, people like, dude, you really helped me. Like, we played in Baltimore the other night, and this kid was there, and he's like, you really helped me get through just a horrible time. It became like because I did it pretty regularly.
Yeah.
It was just like the thing we did at that time, that night, was tuning in and see what Mike was doing. And for me, it was challenging trying to do it all by myself. And I was learning about synthesizers and had bought a bunch of new shit basically right before the pandemic. I'd been thinking about just some different sounds. And all of a sudden I was like, well, I guess I can figure out how to do it all by myself and see my songs sounding good playing by myself. I learned a lot, so it was fun.
Yeah, for sure. It was yours and Chick Corea's. Those were the two live feeds I would watch the most.
So Chick Corea was doing it before he died?
Yeah, and I'm talking like just a few months before he passed. He was doing that pretty regularly up to the end.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, and I'm sure they're still on his Facebook page because I would just watch them on there.
Check that out.
Oh man, those were wonderful too. So I get to say the same thing. You helped me through a horrible time.
Yeah, it was horrible for a lot of folks. A lot of people died. And glad that things seem to be normalizing. And now just don't go to World War III and blow the planet up. There should be some good times ahead for everyone.
We're ended on a really positive note here. I do appreciate your time.
If we don't blow the planet up with World War III.
Go see Punkadelick if you're not being bombed into oblivion.
You think we got enough material?
Yeah. I should say before we go anywhere else that Inflorescence is on Mike's Bandcamp, MikeDillonBand.bandcamp.com. You can also check out Royal Potato Family Records, which is one of the best record label names I've ever heard. And go get that Gumball Pink vinyl. There's only a few left, but there's more on the way. Or you, of course,
you can order from me at my Instagram, and I'll just put it in a little mailer and send it to you myself.
No, that's right.
Not driving again.
Yeah, I bought a CD direct from you a while back. That's right.
Here we go. Check this out. So, yeah, it's great talking to you guys. I appreciate you.
Absolutely, Mike. Thank you so much for joining us and
thank you, Mike.
Letting us escort you home from your tour.
Yeah. Y'all got me home, and I'm really happy to be home.
Excellent.
And it's good talking to y'all, and I'll see you this summer at the Frog Brigade tour.
Yes, you will. Thanks again, Mike.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one.
Thank you, Mike.
Bye.
That was Mike Dillon, everybody. So, Punkadelick with the album Inflorescence, fucking A coming up with our special friends, Jazzfest Frankie. My goodness. Once again, I don't know how Mike does it. He has the energy of a high school senior, but he is going to be playing... Oh, I lost that page. He is... going to be playing with fucking A and Punkadelick and sitting in with the Iceman Special and probably with Jacob Fred Jazz Odyssey at the Megalomaniacs Ball on May 4th in New Orleans at the Broadside. If you are within, what should we say, Frankie, 300, 400 miles? Quit your job. Take the day off. Bring your kids with you. Go to the show. You will not be disappointed. I wish I could make it.
I would love to see a show, for sure.
Oh, my God. Yes, you definitely need to. Everybody needs to. So thanks again to Mike. He's home safely. Frankie got him in the door, and there you go. Any last thoughts, Frankie? I mean, Frog Brigade's coming up. Mike's helping us hype it. What are your guesses? What do you think? What's some of the many songs? I mean, Cosmic Highway, it must be on there. And I think Mike's clued us into that one, but let's give us your wish list, Frankie, your top 5. What do you really want to hear?
First of all, before the top 5, I just want to say that I'm definitely curious about several things. First of all, which tracks will get played for sure, besides Animals. How much jamming will there be? Because, yes, it's the Frog Brigade, and we know that the essence of the Frog Brigade is the jamming and improvisation. But we also know that from a few years back to now, Les has toned down a bit the jamming, right? He tends to not deviate that much from the studio versions in terms of stretching out songs over 20 minutes. So I'm curious if that is going to happen with the Frog Brigade. I mean, if he's going to return to that extent of improvisation, or if we're going to hear, really, really well rehearsed, really amazing renditions of the songs without much improvisation. That being said, I really look forward to Riddles Are Abound Tonight, Climbing Up the Ladder, if that makes it to the set list. Telahon Gingit, definitely. Buzzards of Green Hill, of course, and any other track from Purple Onion will be absolutely welcome. It could be Cosmic Highway, David McAllister, 1 or 2, Wamola. Anything off the record will be incredible. I'm certainly curious if a specific song will get played, of course. Ding Dang.
I think you're going to get a lot of those that you just named. Those are all great ones for a wish list or a want list. I just want everybody to have a good time. It sounds like they're going
Same
to.
here.
I think anybody that goes is going to have a great time. And I mean, when Mike Dillon's involved, everybody has a good time. The guy's a fountain of positivity and fantastic music. So once again, thanks to Mike. Go get Inflorescence. What a great record, everybody. Punkadelick. Any last thoughts, Frankie?
Can't wait to see what this tour has in store for us.
Riddles do abound, even in the swamp. Thanks again to Mike Dillon. Thank you, Primates. At Primus Tracks on Instagram and Twitter, by the way. If you're going to follow at Punkadelick, you might as well also follow at Primus Tracks. Why not? And then go make Les tweet. Later days.
Willie Mays.